My name is Meg. Nice to meet you. I've got a lot in store for you this vlog. So I take you through the whole process of building a mug from throwing on the wheel to trimming to adding handles and eventually firing. And I end the video with my first ever glaze firing at home, which was very nerve-wracking, and I got some good results and some bad results, and I'll be sharing a little bit of both of those at the end. I would buckle up. This one's a doozy. It's like almost 30 minutes long, I think. So yeah, grab your sketchbook, a snack, water, whatever, sit tight, and enjoy the ride. So I just threw these two mug bases, and they're not terrible. They're not great, but they're not terrible. This one's a little thick, but I discovered that with my throwing, when I'm opening it from the center and when I'm pulling, some of my pulls are uneven, therefore throwing my clay off center and making them kind of wonky. Which I kind of like it because it adds like a little character to the mug, but at the same time, I would also like my cups to be perfect and beautiful. So I'm keeping these because they aren't terrible. I'm gonna try to change that with the next batch that I'm about to throw here.
really like how it sounds. I wish it was cuter, but I know it's hot swappable, so I can take like the keys off and like put my own down. I also wish the bottom was white, but also it was a present, so I didn't want to be like, can I have that instead? But I do like it. I've been enjoying myself. I do think mechanical keyboards can get really irritating after a while, but I feel like it's kind of funny that I'm like making so much noise at work. I'm like, da, 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 da. If you built your own, you could get like a nicer sound. You can get the colors you want and everything, but also like that's expensive and time consuming. So if you're looking for a pre-built nice keyboard and you are willing to pay $100, I would say this is nice. It doesn't really give like the clack 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 sound, more like the buck 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 sound. So I've been enjoying it, but yeah. In the beginning, it was a bit difficult to type. Now it's easier, and that is my tech review. Camera. So I have this issue where I always film super long videos. I think it could be I'm not very good at chopping down on editing. Like when I have a clip, I'm like, oh, I'll just keep it in there. I know everyone really likes long videos anyway, so there's no issue. But this time around, I was like, let me make like a short 1 week long video. And the video still ended up being pretty long. However, it was gonna be even longer, but because of my camera, it ended up being a lot shorter. I had a lot of fun, chatty segments that I just didn't include in here.
I do tasks that have a shorter timeline and are things that need immediate attention. So as you can see, I have my assignments I need to get done over the weekend for all my classes. The nice thing is if I have weekly assignments that are the same, I don't really have to retype it. I kind of just uncheck it and then recheck it again once I get it done for the next week. That's it for school tab, and then below there's for work. As you can see from my last video, I have all the things I need to film, graphics I need to make. I put it all in the order every week, pretty much based on my Google Calendar, and then I just check it off as each day passes. Then my second section is called When at Home. I haven't really used this page much. I need to find summer housing so I can... Kayla, stop! It's really snowing hard now. God damn, those are big pieces of dandruff. There's some stuff that you can't see here, so that's why it's blurred out, because it's a secret. But I have to-do lists, video ideas I'm planning for the future, and also some other creative projects that I am working on. Kayla, stop! No! Now! Kayla's been acting up ever since I started feeding her wet food again, because now she is such an entitled bitch. The amount of times that she yells at me every time I open the fridge because she thinks she's gonna get fed is outrageous! It's okay, Kayla deserves the best in life, and I'm trying to provide a reference to copying onto my daily to-do list. For instance, if you click on gender and sustainability, I have the readings and the date that they're supposed to be, because I have work to do. Yeah.
Hey, you. It's really lovely that you've made it through 20 whole minutes of this video, so thank you so much for being here. I just wanted to pop in real quick and have a little chat about what's been going through my head as far as like being an artist for real, I guess is the best way to describe it. I currently work for myself and only for myself. This is the first time I've been like quote unquote unemployed since I was like 15. So this has been a really scary journey, jump, I guess. It hasn't really been that long, so I feel like journey is not a good word. But it's been a really scary jump into like this new chapter of my life. And I feel like there's a lot of passive time right now where I'm just kind of like hanging out, brainstorming, trying to come up with ideas, working on making content, stuff like that. And it feels very insecure because I'm not like, I don't have a big enough following to do a shop update and have it be like super impactful or anything like that. So on one hand, it's really nice because I don't have any pressure. Like, I don't have an audience. So I'm creating really truly only for myself. And that's also new. Like, I just graduated from college and this is the first time that I don't have a predetermined artistic direction from a professor or an assignment or anything like that. And it's kind of been a struggle, which has been interesting. I'm really struggling with trying to find my own voice and be proud of what I'm making because there's no parameters anymore. Like, there's no rubric or expectation. Like, you're working on this project with this goal in mind. I've had to set my own goals now. So that has been probably one of the hardest parts. And this mug was like the first mug that I made out of this test group that I've been working on this whole video that felt like me. It felt like a step in the right direction, which was super comforting after, losing all that direction, artistic direction from college and kind of just like existing on my own, creating work in a vacuum. I'm in my studio like by myself at home most of the time, and it can get pretty lonely, and it just feels like it's harder to come up with ideas when you're just sitting there by yourself, like racking your brain for hours. So that's why I like YouTube, because I feel like even though I don't know these people, like, personally, that I watch, it does feel like more of a studio community. And that's, like, what helped me produce this sample work, was just, like, listening to what they were doing and kind of trying to find that within my own space, my own ideas. It's been super hard to find my own artistic direction, like, after being in that, like, pressure cooker of undergrad. I feel like now that I've had a chance to slow down and think things through more, it's almost harder, which is interesting because, like, you think it would be easier if you have more time to think and, like, make really ponder decisions and like try different things, but I almost miss that pressure of like you just don't have enough time, so you have to make decisions a little bit quicker because otherwise you wouldn't get anything done. And I'm trying to incorporate that into my home studio life now, of just kind of like taking that first or second decision and not overthinking the process. But it's definitely a challenge. It's something I have to work on a lot more. I spend a lot of time like in fear of messing things up and then I end up not getting anything done, or like scrapping something that I was working on because it's not perfect. So I need to be better about like just going with my gut and maybe being a little easier on myself with things that I create, or let them at least exist for 24 hours before I scrap them here. These textiles were one of the most exciting parts of this firing. I was just like so excited to have a guide of how things might turn out. Finally, because I went into this whole kiln firing pretty much blind. I didn't have any samples of the clay body that I was using with these glazes. I've never used many of these glazes before. It was super stressful. I really was like creating with no idea what it was going to look like at the end. So I was very excited to put these in and finally have like an idea ahead of time of what things might come out looking like. Plus, it's just like nice to do that brainless work sometimes where, you know, you're just painting squares of color on each tile and it's not hard. You just do it. It doesn't take a lot of brain power, you know? As I'm wrapping up this little glazing portion of the video, I did want to talk about where I'm going in the future, like the very near future, like literally while I'm editing this video, what I'm doing now. I have all of my work glazed. By the end of this video, I got all of my test tiles back. I figured out which clay body I wanted to stick with. I made a lot of important decisions during this video, and now I'm kind of like at the fun part, because this was a lot of like prep work, figuring out what glazes I wanted to stick with, what clay body I was going to stick with, and now I'm at like the making part where I know the base resources that I'm going to use, and now I get to kind of like further develop a collection or like a group of ceramic ware that I feel comfortable putting together or trying to sell together. I've been throwing a lot of mugs. I feel like I'm definitely going to stick with mugs for the near future because I love that they're functional, and just like picking out a mug every morning does change like my mood around the day. That might sound really ridiculous, but I don't know. I have a bunch of mugs that were handmade by some of my friends, mugs that I've thrifted, mugs that have been gifted to me, and it's just like, it's a nice memory to like open up your cabinet in the morning and pick out a mug for coffee. So I have some like emotional attachment to mugs, and they're also good for throwing practice because you don't need a ton of clay, but I like to make bigger mugs. So it's like a decent amount of clay to learn how to control. You learn how to pull handles. It's a good place to start, I think. Plus, like as far as decorating goes, I love underglazing. I love painting, so I can do a lot of that. I can carve. I can add some sculptural elements. I feel like doing mugs is a good place to start because I really can like push them pretty far in terms of ceramic techniques and what I want to do on top of the surface. So I definitely want to do some mugs. I've thrown quite a few over this past week while I've been editing this video. And then I think I'd like to do some plates too. Plates are very hard and I'm really scared of them, but I think that's why I should do them, and I think they would be a really lovely surface to manipulate, to paint on, and see how far I could push them. I'm gonna wrap up this little voiceover segment here as I take you along to the glaze firing. Hopefully you've liked it so far. You can give me a thumbs up if you have. Please, 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 please. I would love that. And hopefully you are willing to consider subscribing if you want to stick around and see more of my adventures of trying to be a full-time artist. Who knows what'll happen next. Yeah. I'll see you guys soon at the end of the video. That was it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I definitely learned a lot over the course of the past 2 weeks. And I'm super excited with how things came out of the kiln, and I'm more excited to start building with an idea of how things are going to come out. Glazes are super unpredictable, and I was testing 2 different clay bodies as well. So that was something that was super, I just didn't know how anything was going to look. And now that I have a better idea of how things are going to come out, how they're going to shrink, etc., I'm really excited to continue moving forward. Any of the mugs that you saw at the end of the video here are for sale. If you'd like to visit my website at softbeefcake.com, I'm sure I'll have a bunch of them up by the time this video drops. So yeah, if you liked anything you saw and you'd like to purchase one, maybe go check that out. Yeah, but that's all I got. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.